Hello, welcome to Slay episode number 20. Let me get you caught up on the story so far, and then we're going to dive right into it. Previously on Slay. Lincoln still has serious debts. He owes Bingles a hell of a lot of gold. More important and far more pressing, Lincoln has to start making payments on his contract with Callista, or she will stop protecting Lincoln's son, Sam, in the purgatory known as the Shelf. Lincoln also needs to find out why his friend Dylan Cantrell did not pay the gold that was supposed to be handed to Bingles. Fucking what a day. Oh, yeah. And Lincoln has to track down a very big lizard somewhere in Wyoming. And now, episode 20 of Slay. The sound of circular saws, banging hammers, and a rumble of what Billy thought might be a cement mixer echoed through the place. Workmen outside, or 2 floors down in the basement, chattered away, their words dulled by distance and the old stone church's walls. Billy had grown up poor. No doubt about that. Until Billy started to work at the age of 15 or so, Grandma brought in the only money, and not much of it. Enough to keep them in the apartment, to keep food on the table, and Kellogg's Frosted Flakes in the cupboard. Or, more often, Carney's Frosted Flakes, the local Lumencia grocery chain's knockoff brand. But while Grandma hadn't brought in stacks upon stacks, she had kept their place tidy and neat. Their neighbor crackheads, though, not so much with the tidy and neat. Those apartments had looked a lot like this old office. Once upon a time, this room had probably been fancy AF. Bookshelves, now empty. Big leather chairs, now ratty and torn. A big wooden desk, now chipped and splintered from years or decades of misuse. Peeling wallpaper, water stains in the ceiling. Tools, rags, plastic bottles, and other gear overflowed from open desk drawers. Atop the desk, parts of the nastiest looking rifle Billy had ever seen. And a couple of vials of pills. And a fifth of Jack Daniels, now only a fifth left. A fifth of a fifth. Did that make it a 25th? Clutter, booze, drugs, and trash. Fast food wrappers. A pizza box. A waste basket overflowing with crumpled, blood-stained paper towels. Apparently, the beer pong table wasn't the only place Magda worked on Lincoln's wounds. "I see you don't clean up much in here, Mags," Billy said. Magda was half bent over the old-timey desk. Pretty much everything in this place was old-timey in one way or another. At the word Mags, she stood straight, turned slightly, flipped the weird, blocky magnification goggles from her eyes to her forehead, and glared at Billy. "Mags, is it? You think you're that familiar with me?" Billy shrugged. "If you're going to call me Lil Peen, I'm going to call you Mags." She grinned a half grin. Maybe because those scars in her face had cut deep enough to slice her smiling muscles. Both of her eyes worked fine, though, and they gleamed with mischievous delight. "I feel so insulted," she said. "You really put me in my place, Lil Peen." Magda flipped the goggles down. She lifted half of the rifle, the part she had called the upper. It looked heavy. She set it atop the part she had called, obviously, the lower. She pulled that bolt thingy back, the upper and lower half locked together. Each half had looked huge all by itself. As a whole, the rifle had to be 4 feet long. "Damn," Billy said. "That thing's almost bigger than I am." Magda slid a metal pin into the butt end, then another up closer to the front. 48 steel hard inches. Magda ran a cloth over the rifle. Long and strong and down to get the friction on. She was quoting a golden oldie from the last century. Billy had heard the song, of course, but didn't think that Sir Fucks-a-Lot, or whatever his name had been, intended for his song to be used to describe this scary-looking piece of death. Well, the scariest looking he'd seen if he didn't count the Jerboas, or the Flechette sisters, or Pragman and his Croco Bear. But those were living things. Fucked up living things, or maybe undead things, he wasn't sure, but still, things that had moved and acted on their own. This overcompensating rifle that was so phallic it should have had a tribal tattoo and its own red sports car, though? Not a living thing. What's this thing called again? A Barrett M82, Magda said. Some call it the Light 50. I call it the Ding Dong Big Schlong. Why do you call it that? Because when you hear it ring the doorbell, you're about to get fucked. Ding Dong Big Schlong. Coin that phrase. This woman was so odd. You can't coin your own phrase, Billy said. I don't think that's how it works. I didn't coin it, Magda said. I told you to coin it. So get to getting. She was odd, yes, but he felt safe around her. He didn't know why. He didn't want to go near Ariella, and he didn't trust that psycho Lincoln one damn bit. But he felt safe around Magda. And around Dragon, too. But that didn't make any sense. What could the tiny dog protect him from? An even tinier cat? Billy heard loud voices approaching. Lincoln and Ariella arguing. This bitch. Magda flipped up her goggles. Her mouth is on cruise control and the brake line's been cut. Billy stepped around the desk, put it and Magda between him and the door. Lincoln walked in carrying a curved chunk of his dull gray armor. I'm sick of this shit, he said over his shoulder. I go to sleep for 5 goddamn hours and you order more work done? The fucking saws woke me up. You're a goddamn guest here, Ariella, not the boss. He tossed the piece of armor on the desk/workbench. Mags, it's still poking me in the lower back where Pragman shot me. Can you fix it before I head out? Magda raised one eyebrow, smiled her half-smile at Billy. Yeah, Link, she said. Good old Mags can fix it for you. Billy's meant-to-be insulting name happened to be what Lincoln called her all the time. Well, damn. Oh, I'm a guest? Ariella walked through the door after Link. Then work on your hospitality because you don't make guests stay in a pigsty. I got a great deal on the new round of fixes. Or don't you care about money? Lincoln turned on her, his pointed finger almost at her nose. What I care about, Ariella, is debt, which you have us in again right after Billy's cash bailed us out. Kill the Wyvern in Wyoming and we'll be fine, Ariella said. You put its head in a rune box, you take the box to the clearinghouse, you get Herondal's bracelet as payment for the contract, you bring it right back here, no side trips, we make the first installment to Callista. What could be easier? What could be easier? Right. Lincoln grabbed the 5th of Jack from the table. I gather you never hunted a wyvern. He drained the bottle like it was room temperature water. Hey, Magda said, that was my dinner. Lincoln gave her a tired glare that said, not you too, and tossed the bottle into the wastebasket full of bloody paper towels. After the clearinghouse, I'm going to go find Dylan, Lincoln said. I need to take care of that while I'm already in Cordis. He's not responding to calls or summons. I'm going to take a chunk out of his ass for not paying Bingles. Magda pulled the piece of armor closer, flipped down her goggles. About damn time, she said. Dylan's a prick. I don't like him. You don't like anyone, Lincoln said. Oh, hey, is the ding-dong big schlong ready? Magda flipped up her goggles. Does a Catholic priest get a robe tent for choir boys? She flipped them down again. Lopine, let me show you how to fix dents in Link's armor. Ariella threw up her hands. He's a freaking contract mark. You're not going to try and show this idiot meshwork, are you? Without looking up from the armor, Magda pointed to the door. GTFO, she said. I got work to do. Ariella glared, huffed, and then stormed out. Her steps so intentionally loud, they overpowered even the cement mixer's rumble. Lincoln picked up the Barrett. You're a fine lass, aren't you? He said, as if the weapon were a beloved pet. Aren't you a fine lass? You're going to make Daddy's work easy as pie. You're such a good girl. He walked out, the obnoxiously long rifle cradled in his arms. Magda tapped the armor. This is the backplate, she said. Now pay attention while I show you how to work with this material. Maybe you can earn your keep around here. I just contributed 10 grand to the cause, Billy said. Don't that count? Pennies on the dollar. Now, watch. I'm going to light this puppy up and we'll fix that last bit of dent. Asias ostendre industria. As Billy watched, the backplate began to glow. And in that glow, he saw little lines, almost like strands of fabric or something, gleaming gemstone yellow and strawberry soda red, and hunter's orange and a deep, cool violet. First things first, Magda said. I had to tweak the meshwork before I can adjust the metal. Now pay attention. Mesmerized, Billy did just that. And in the wonderful world of light TV, somehow I didn't export the rest of the goddamn story. Give me a minute. Feed your own goddamn selves. This some bullshit, right? Why would that guy come through? That looks like it's there. Previous on Billy. Oh, we'll just export this one now. All right. Export. No, compile. Compile, bitches, not export. Two totally different things. Why would anybody think this is the same thing? Makes no sense. And Slay, let's go Slay 120-1. Text export. Okay, we got a problem here. There we go. I see what I did. Pardon me. There it is. Oh, you know, there it is right there. 22. I want you guys to know that while there have been some pretty poopy episodes here, as far as being prepared, it ain't been this bad so far. It ain't been this bad. But you know what? With the magic of editing, it's gonna look like when you see the final video and hear the video on Sunday, it's gonna look so smooth. It's gonna smooth as central, baby. Smooth as central. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Fortunately, I know how to do this shit now. I want you guys to know I'm gonna be drinking some goddamn scotch after this episode. Zero question about that. Love of my life will probably bring that up for me, be my guess. All right, here we go. Unpause. We are recording. Steve Iceberg. Here we go. Lincoln stepped out of the men's room, glanced up and down the hall. No one there. The old main building on the campus of the University of Wyoming. Admin building now, apparently, and as such, no one was around at 3:30 in the morning. He burned thread work as he headed for the exit. Instead of a cloaked, armored Rixator carrying a gun case in one hand and a bird carrier in the other, anyone who laid eyes on him would see a stereotypical college professor in a tweed coat with patches on the elbows, carrying a pop-up projection screen in one hand and a projector in the other. The disguise wouldn't stand up to close scrutiny But at this time of the morning, that likely wouldn't be an issue. As for the security cameras, they would record nothing at all. Lincoln found the exit and walked out into the snow and cold, moving quickly but not running. The old adage of, if you look like you belong here, no one notices, held true far more often than not. He hadn't seen stars like this in a long time. Blazing pinpricks scattered thickly against the endless black. The sky didn't look like this in Lumencia. And that was ironic, considering that it was once known as the American City of Light. He walked to Ivinson Avenue, saw the battered blue pickup truck he'd been told would be waiting for him. He tossed the Barrett case in the back, set the bird cage down gently in there as well. Shitbird was sleeping. Would be for another few hours, thanks to the half bag of 3-month-old Cheez-Its Lincoln had given the crow for dinner. He opened the passenger door and got in. The driver eyed him. "And what are you supposed to be?" Lincoln shut the door. The driver was so tall, the loose threads of her blonde hair bent against the cab ceiling. She wore a heavy Carhartt jacket. Country music played quietly from the radio. "This is a university," Lincoln said. "I'm a professor, obviously." The driver laughed, the sound as deep as her voice. She guided the truck out of the parking lot. "Maybe that passes for a professor in New England," she said, "but not here. Do New England professors smell like a distillery? 'Cause I hope that's just a part of the costume." Lincoln could smell a tinge of whiskey, which meant he probably reeked of the stuff. He should have had a Tic Tac or something. "We got about a 2-hour drive ahead of us," the woman said. "Afraid I can't afford a magic carpet ride or anything like that. Times are tough on my property, what with the Wyvern and all." Lincoln cringed inside. She was going to give him some sob story to get out of paying. He could just tell. "You can't afford," he said. "You can't afford?" he said. "The contract was put out by a Stephen Snodgrass. He your husband or brother or something?" "Neither. I go by Svetlana now. Stephen is my dead name. You think it's hard changing your gender in America? Try getting Jeez, oh Pete, let's do the whole paragraph again. "Neither. I go by Svetlana now. Stephen is my dead name. You think it's hard changing your gender in America? Try getting the Cordis registry to figure that out. Whatever passes for a computer there is probably a 1,000-year-old papyrus scroll or something." Lincoln huffed in agreement. For all he knew, Stephen had been Svetlana for a decade or more. Cordis wasn't the most efficient place in the patchwork. Hell, the census rolls probably still had him listed as an active Rixator. "I'm tired," Lincoln said. "You mind if I get some sleep along the way?" Svetlana shrugged. "If that helps you stay sharp enough to get that winged demon off my land, you do you." Lincoln slumped down in the seat and closed his eyes. With all that construction racket, he hadn't slept for shit. What was Ariella thinking? And for that matter, what was Lincoln thinking by going into business with her? The most powerful criminal in Lumencia wanted the woman dead. How was he supposed to know? How was he supposed to have known Ariella was a spendthrift and a control freak? How was he supposed to have known her domineering attitude made her think she ran everything? How was he supposed to have known? Maybe by asking around. Maybe by talking to Ariella for more than 30 minutes before signing on with her. Which, of course, he had not done. Because it had not occurred to him to do so. Hadn't crossed his mind at all. Blame it on the Bastion. They taught him how to kill. Everything else, from meals to lodging to training, they'd provided for him so he could spend all of his mental energy on becoming a better fighter, a better Rixator. They had turned him into a weapon and taught him nothing else. He was a sword without a scabbard, his lethal edge always out in the open. When it came to things like interacting with people and building relationships, hell, even buying groceries, he didn't know his ass from a burned biscuit. He fell asleep for a bit, woke up, took in the view. They were already clear of Laramie. Beautiful country. No buildings, blazing stars, and the moon staring down at him with a welcoming wink. He hadn't figured out what to do about Dante yet. Magda and Ariella both thought Dante wanted to move in on Callista's turf, and he was using the Billy contract to recruit high-level operatives. It was smart, to be honest. Bounty hunters chasing a contract in Lumencia wouldn't draw much concern from Callista. They had a blank check to operate in the city, getting to know the place, gaining an understanding on who controlled what. When the time came to make a move, Dante would have people who knew the local turf. He had zero chance of openly recruiting operatives who lived in Lumencia because all of them, Lincoln included, did not want to risk Callista finding out. And a brief pause while I zap yet another spammer, because that's what they motherfuckers do, man. Jenna Aim, you going bye-bye. Bing. Here we go. Blocked on Facebook and a restream chat. Thank you. Here we go. It created a complicated equation. Dante wanted Billy dead, which meant Lincoln wanted Dante dead. But Dante possibly wanted Callista dead. And so did Lincoln. Lincoln didn't have the first clue of what to do next. He woke suddenly, not realizing he had snoozed off again. Looked out the passenger window to see the beginning of a stunning sunrise, obscured by nothing save for a few low mountains to the east. "Good morning, sunshine," Svetlana said. "You snore like a bull with a deviated septum and another bull's cock up its nose. Your lovers must adore you for that." Lincoln laughed. Amanda had said something similar, although not quite in such a crass way. He missed her. He missed her so. But time to push those thoughts away and focus on the business at hand. "Where do you think the Wyvern came from?" Svetlana shrugged. "Who knows? The bastards are all over the patchwork, last I heard. I don't care where it came from, I care where it goes. As in, away. It's eaten half my damn herd, I swear. I'm on the edge of bankruptcy." She's talking about money again. Maybe she wouldn't try to make this job a freebie. He could always hope. "How many contractors have come out for this?" "You're the third," Svetlana said. "The first two got themselves eaten." Well, wasn't that just a lovely slice of good news? "You know where it nests?" "If I did, it would be dead," Svetlana said. "What I do know is it likes to strike at dusk, flies in low, picks off my cattle." "Why don't you keep him in the barn then?" Svetlana gave him a sidelong glance. "You don't know much about ranching, mister," she said. "Takes days to round 'em all up and get 'em into one place. Not to say I didn't try just that, but you'll see the results soon enough. We're almost there." As the sun continued to rise, she turned down a well-packed dirt road. 15 minutes later, they pulled up to a farmhouse. Spread complete with 3 silos, 2 outbuildings, and 1 big-ass pole barn. A big-ass pole barn with a hole the size of a Mack truck ripped out of the roof. Svetlana stopped the truck next to the house. "I got extra rooms," she said. "You want to rest up some more first? I'll get you some breakfast." Lincoln still had a belly full of booze. He didn't feel like eating. "No, thanks. I'll get to work. I need a couple of things from you." Svetlana nodded. "Like what?" A vehicle, Lincoln said, and some blankets, and a tent if you got one. Above all, though, I need 3 head of cattle. And that was episode number 20 of Slay. Hope you're enjoying the story, and hope you'll join us next week for episode number 21. Until then, try not to be a bull with a deviated septum and another bull's cock up your nose. Good day. Now that was a very heartwarming salutation, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for all the troubles, but let's get on with the show. Baby doll, you can come on up. You guys, it is possible that there is a max to the amount of shit one brain can process in one day. I don't know. It's possible. It's been a busy week, though. The Ant Snibbin book is going gangbusters. We're almost done with Act 1, probably done with Act 1 tomorrow. So in other words, about a quarter of the way through. Oh my God, was that my... I wish I had recorded that solo so I could slow it down. You know, like they took the lion's roar and made it the Millennium Falcon? That would have turned that into a monster noise, and somewhere it would have been pretty good. All right, y'all, let's get back into the chat. Waiting for Baby to come on up and hang out. It has been one hell of a day, y'all. Now, where is A's entry? Showing over. There it is. I'm ready. I'm ready with my sound effect, everybody. David Lamb says, are there 20 more episodes forthcoming? Probably more like 10. Probably more like 10, although they might be a little bit longer. Oh, yeah. But I don't know for sure how long this is going to be. I'm working with Rob Otto on it right now. We're trying to condense the storylines, get them going. We're definitely going to see Lincoln have to fight a Wyvern. Sorry. And in my head, I see this as kind of the old Voyage of Sinbad stop motion stuff when he had to fight the Rock. Hopefully, if they ever make a movie out of this, it'll look a little bit better. Pardon me. Not on top of everything else, you guys got to put up with me having the gas. Having the gas. Who is in? Nobody puts Baby in the corner, John. Well, this doesn't help. By the time I can type out a text phrase, I've already capitalized on the joke. Martin Evans, what's up, man? What's up? Big John in the house. Shannon's in the house. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, entering the house right now, none other than, let's get back out of chat. Let's go to main. My fantastic, hello, A, how are you? I feel like we have to encourage A to have some kind of entry thing where she stops, like Kramer, open the door and be like, look around while the cheers go on as the audience cheers for her.
No.
How you doing?
Well,
let's get you unmuted. Let's get you unmuted.
Well, I love
Baby,
you guys. This is still
Baby,
a
how
Singler podcast.
How brutal was that, babe?
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you. I'm quite proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
That was fucking brutal.
That was rough.
But it
so
was
much
mostly
went wrong.
brutal on. But here's the thing. And look at me. It was mostly brutal on you.
Yeah.
If you had been able to read the chat, obviously I'm supportive because it's also my cast. But everybody was like, "You do you, bro. We got time."
Cool.
And sometimes you just have to say like, fuck it."
I did. Tonight I said fuck it.
And I'm proud of you. I'm quite proud of you.
We got about technically 12 minutes left, so we'll address this as quickly as we can. So if you got shit to do at 7 o'clock hour our time, go on about your business. But this might take a little bit longer than 7 because it's not every day that we lose junkies, and when we do lose an old school junkie like this, or 2 old school junkies like this, you know, it's important for us to say our goodbyes in a way that fits the culture that all of you guys and A and I have made together. It's not something that she and I have made. It's really been all of us together over the years, forming this wonderful unit of positivity where there's just all kinds of great things that go on. But
So
let's get into
before we talk about before we talk about that, which is a little bit hard, but I hope you stick around because it's also the family we created together. I want to let you know that on June 3rd, between 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. Pacific time, our good friend Steve Rickenberg, who is in the chat room on Facebook, hosts a Sigler Junkies happy hour. I join often. Scott joins very infrequently because it's the same time.
Berg.
As his,
I'll make a gang some more. Ice. That's Berg. Okay. Try and Steve.
It's the same time as one of his band rehearsals, so he doesn't join all that much. I think you guys, if you're junkies, already know that he's very overscheduled, but he joins a little sometimes. I join more frequently. It's a really fun time, and I don't know about you guys, but we are still a little, we're not locked down, but we're careful about what we spend time doing because things are still pretty dangerous, even though the emergency pandemic is over.
What's up, Jude?
So, my brother made it. How fun. So that was one of the things that we wanted to talk about. The big thing that we want to talk about before we go is this has been a pretty hard week for the Junkie chosen family. Mm-hmm. And specifically for the two of us, because I'm going to do better.
Sorry, babe.
Because we've lost... No. Because we've lost a human who was super important to all of us and a couple of pups that are a part of our family, too. So we're going to talk about it because our junkie community lost a beautiful human who was also a dedicated junkie last Thursday, a week ago tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure you guys know how important he was to us, but also how important this virtual community is. And in case you think like we're showing up every day just to give you something, we're not. Every Wednesday we show up, we're doing it for you guys too. So we'll talk about it. You've got some pictures, right, hon?
Yeah, I do. Let's go. What we're going to talk about is, of course, this will be upsetting. So we're going to talk about Boz has been called up to the Great Gridiron in the sky. He's been called up to Tier 0. What?
Squeaky can hear me crying.
Okay,
Excuse me.
Bring her on in. So let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all. If you guys are crying types, get yourself a Kleenex. If you are not, don't like to do the crying stuff, then you know what? Come back next week because this shit is upsetting. So this is, oops, turn them off. Here are the little junkie screen. Normally we show very happy, positive things here. This is, we mourn the passing of Boz, who is, if you can see him, he is second from the right.
He's the
only
one with generations.
That's what I said. This is from when we went. A and I did a small European tour, which was fucking spectacular.
Yeah, it was
fucking
great.
Absolutely. As a creator, to be able to do something like this and send a time travel telegram back to 12-year-old Scott in. Dirty Butt Scott in Sheboygan, Michigan, to say, you're going to fucking, at some point, you're going to get to go to Europe and meet all of these people who adore the shit that you have created, is still, to this day, I don't know how to process it. It's fucking overwhelming. And look at this fucking murderers. Look at this lineup. This was it. Where's the English?
This is London.
This is London. Look at all the fucking shirts. Everybody showed up, and this was only the people who had the shirts on. So of course they get a special picture because that's how we show favoritism.
So can we talk a little bit about Boz?
Yep, let's talk about a little Boz.
So you have known him longer than or you knew him long. So this is a beautiful picture. This is Ken Thornhill in the front, very front, and oh my God,
West Side.
Yeah, and I'm
throwing out the
gonna
West
remember,
Side.
I'm so sorry, Ken Thornhill and Mike. Oh no, I'll remember it.
It's okay. It's about Boz tonight.
You
it's okay.
see in the bottom right, that's me in that photo. The gorgeous human right above me, her name is Lavinia, and she is Boz's spouse. And the bearded gentleman you see right above Ken Thornhill in the red sweatshirt, that is Boz. And Boz, we all lost him last Thursday. And I want to say, because this is what Lavinia said, and it's important to me that this is how we go into this. He was involved in a motorcycle accident. He was a big cyclist. He did it as did Lavinia.
Sorry, guys. Continue.
He was great at motorcycling, so that sort of
That was
works.
his jam.
And they went on road trips. Lavinia is a Spanish native. She grew up in Spain. He grew up in England. They met in high school, I think, or maybe college. Sort of drifted apart and then drifted back together. And they were goals, you guys. They were such beautiful, beautiful humans who chose to be together, and they had to kind of fix their lives themselves before they could be together, and they were lovely. So the first time I personally met Boz was by email. I wanted to say Lavinia's words were, he died last Thursday morning, and it happened just as he wanted, riding on a dry and sunny day. So while that is heartbreaking for me, I'm happy for him. And I want to say that we have only met them once, and it was when we went in 2007 to London.
Yeah. How fortunate for us.
Yeah, we had a couple of days where we did a couple of London stops, and they did the whole thing with us. And
you can see just look at this motherfucker. Look at the smile on his face.
Yeah.
He was as delighted to meet us as we were delighted to meet him and everyone else. And one thing you'll notice in all of the pictures of Boz is this smile. Mm-hmm. And, traveling across the ocean, coming from the States, and I've been to Europe once before for personal travel, but I never toured Europe as a creator. And I had managed to do one other country. I had managed to do Australia a while back before that. So it was really fun to get to know this. But just coming in and seeing how happy people were. And Boz was sort of the flag carrier of the happiness.
Yeah. So I will say the very first time I interacted with Boz was by email. And it was after I mentioned that he and Lavinia knew each other before they got together, and then they got back together after some time. So they had rekindled their friendship, and he was headed to Spain to shoot his shot with Lavinia. And at that time, I was the person who got the email contact us line from scottsigler.com. And we got an email from Boz saying, I am going to Spain. I'm going to shoot my shot. And Scott,
it's like a Hallmark movie.
It is.
It's
it
amazing.
Totally is. Scott is my favorite author. And if she says yes, he has to marry us. And it wasn't even at the stage where they were like totally together yet. And I was like, okay. And I asked him, he's like, if I can fucking do that, I will fucking do that. So that part, their lives connected and they grew together much faster than all of that. But we did get to spend a few days with them. And you remember pubbing this whole time
this was,
in London.
Awesome. Yeah, this is awesome.
Like Scott said, Boz was the life of the party. He was the
he was the joy of the party. He just like stood there being happy.
He's the town square guy. He's the one who says it's time to party or whatever it was, and he was so full of joy. It was like we were in London for 2 days and we were in different places. We had 2 stops. We were there 3 days. This is them. Oh God, what a gorgeous photo.
He loved that jersey, man.
Yeah, he chose Moo Moo Kilaue's number because he's big like Moo Moo was.
He's a big fella, yeah.
Yeah, and I have this beautiful memory of Boz walking with Scott and me walking with Lavinia because we were both wearing unsuitable shoes for walking to an after hours bar once all the bars closed in London. But she was like, I'm not stopping. Unless he stops, I'm not stopping. So we walked, and it was a great time. And they are unique and wonderful people. So also I want to say, Boz was a podcaster. And I love this photo so much. Boz was a podcaster. He hosted a podcast called Little Pot of Horrors, which while it is a horror cast, so if you're not a horror fan and you're just a Sigler fan, maybe take with a little bit of salt because it was about rare and weird finds, and they interviewed a lot of actors from cool, small indie horror movies and producers of small indie horror movies. And Scott did a handful of promos and was on, you would have heard him on the cast a handful of times. But let us go back to that pic, this one, outside this was the first London pub that we were in. And it is Boz, who you see in that arrow there, if you look at that red arrow, he's the one. So we're standing out there and everybody wanted to get a shot. And Lavinia is in the white all the way on the left in the front row. So they were such a fun, cool couple who wanted the whole room to have fun that we get out there to take a photo. And I'm the one taking this photo. And you can tell I didn't do a good job because I had a lot of beer.
I was fucking drunk. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
And
drunk as ass.
It's Boz in the back.
Hi, Maria.
That starts the Who's House chant. And he's such a big, big presence. And he's physically a big human that even standing in an alley in London, he could scream, "Who's house?" And all of us did that. And there's a video of it. I'll post it on Sigler Junkies tomorrow.
We'll post it on Sigler Junkies' face. Real short, but it's super fun because it's the Siglerism religious conquest of the UK. And I'm very proud of it.
So,
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, and that's actually a beautiful thing because we did that with our whole hearts. There's actually 2 videos, but the first one Scott thought was too short and we need to do a bigger one with the whole thing. So we'll post that tomorrow.
Right.
And it was totally great because Scott was like, "One more time." And right in the back, Boz was like, "One more time." And we did it again. And it's beautiful. And I'll post it after this
Bro
episode.
had decibels, y'all. Bro had some serious decibels.
Yeah.
All right, now I've got one more picture to show with Boz, which we're going to cut it off after that because it's, woo.
You having a rough time?
Yep.
All right, so wait, before you show that, let me just say, not too long after this night out, maybe a couple months, Lavinia and Boz found Diamond Dallas Page Yoga. And it literally transformed their entire lives. They both became instructors. And here's the beautiful thing. They became instructors. They became level 1 instructors in 2019 and became level 2 instructors during the pandemic. And during the pandemic, they would go on Facebook separately and together and do DTPY yoga classes for people who were trying to maintain their health and their fitness while they were locked down.
What great people.
And they did it on Facebook, just like we're doing. It's such a gift for being able to do that. And then I just want to say, I think while many of you didn't get to meet Boz in person, and we only got to meet Boz and Lavinia a couple of times in person, I will say you all know him from the Sigler Junkies page. He was so supportive of the community. He was so excited to be a junkie. And you can look back and see, if you go to the Sigler Junkies page and just search Boz on the page, you'll see him excited about getting the gangster, excited about getting the galaxy map, excited about getting his jersey. He was such a good, gorgeous, life-loving human. That's the lesson I'm going to take. That's the lesson I'm going to take. He even loved his job. He installed, I think, window treatments, either that or windows and window treatments. And he would post his pride of all of that. And I think you get to be proud of anything you do in this life that is good and helpful.
And I wish you all could have met him. We met him briefly, but there's just something about a person who leads with joy.
Yeah.
And that was Boz. Joy forward, and now see if I get through this.
Okay.
Wait, this one, and ready for the last one?
I am. I know what it is.
Oh, wait, one more for us. No, there's one more after this. This is great. This is the 4 of us, getting a shot. Lovely people. And this is the one that fucking kills me. We got to post this tomorrow.
We will. So I will say this. If you didn't get to meet my stupid iPhone. If you didn't get to meet Boz in person or you didn't get to know him in the Sigler Junkies page, I would like to say, at least for me, who had a very shallow interaction with him, that I would have liked for more, he was an absolutely gorgeous person and a gorgeous human being, and there's no replacing him. So I'm going to try and honor his legacy by being more open to new experiences, because that's what I learned from him, and new opportunities, weird opportunities. You don't have to engage with it if you don't like it the first time, but he tried a whole bunch of things that changed his life, and I'm going to try and honor him by doing that as well.
Great.
And if you want to join me, you should.
All right.
Now we got more heavy.
If you guys think we can't handle a human being dying,
which we cannot.
Let's move on to the shit that absolutely fucking ruins us. I'm not gonna lie.
And would have ruined Boz too.
I'm not great. I got boogers.
That's okay.
How am
Just
I
move
doing?
on. I'll talk.
I got a bucket. Chain check.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Nobody
okay.
take a screenshot of that.
Screenshot away. I lead with joy now, bitches. That's all you. All right, so here we go.
Oh, you
with
guys. Such a big week this was.
another junkie, a long-term. I'm going to do this before the picture show up. A longtime junkie who is the people parents are Jerry and Kelly. And a lot of you in the chat room know Jerry and Kelly. They've been there absolutely from the fucking beginning. And so has this junkie who's been called up to be the official mascot of Tier 0. The Krakens for Tier 0. But Lily ran her course and crossed the Rainbow Bridge. The real Rainbow Bridge, not the one of the horror story I'm going to write, which all of you are going to totally fucking hate me for. But this wee lass came to a couple of Siglerfests because Lily was a service animal. Came to many.
Many.
She was a service pup and was very helpful in Jerry managing the day-to-day that Jerry had the pup for a reason.
One second. This is Lily McArdle. If you never got to a Siglerfest and you never came to a book Hell Week or anything like that, or you never got to hang with us in San Diego, this is Lily McArdle. She's the whitest one in this photo, and she is on the right. The other one is Boss Jen Sherwood, who is a gorgeous, beautiful, vital, still living junkie.
That's fucking Jimmy Mustache.
Sorry, it's Jimmy.
That's Jimmy Mustache
I
on
am
the left.
sorry. Who is also still vital and living. We're talking about the tiny Snow White pup on the right.
And just this pup had amazing skills for Jerry, who would have some anxiety issues in a crowd or whatever, and sometimes get distracted. What Lily could do was to go up to Jerry and like pat her on the leg and be like, hey, man, let's get centered, son. Let's get centered, son. And kind of get things squared away. Thanks, babe. And it was just amazing to watch. Amazing to watch because, as you guys may know, we're fucking bonkers for dogs. We love dogs. We love pets. I'm a dog person, been a dog person my whole life. Watching a trained service animal do their thing is one of the fucking coolest things I will ever see. And every time I see it, I'm always amazed. Every time I walk by the drug dog at the airport, I'm like, holy shit, that dog's amazing. So this dog was all about keeping a human being centered and warm and happy and kind of insulating them from what all of our minds can fuck with us. And that's what Lily did. Lily had a goddamn job.
Yeah.
She wasn't just pretty. She had a job.
I spoke with Jerry, her mama, today, like 2 hours ago. And Jerry said the most beautiful thing. She said, Lily loved to work, and she worked every single day of her life with Jerry, even the day they went to the vet and found out that she had stomach cancer. And the McArdles are like lovely human beings. They're like us. They're junkies. They're wonderful people. And they were like, we cannot have her suffer 1 minute more. And so in that moment with the diagnosis, they made the hard decision, which is the right decision. The photo you see on your screen is our good friend Robin Taylor and Lily at Siglerfest. And Lily came to a bunch of Siglerfest. She came to a bunch of hardcover shipping Hell Weeks. And she also was
came to our house.
Yeah, she was a San Diego local for a long time. So we got to see her a bunch of times. We got to watch her once. Because, of course, she was a service dog, so she was always working. But there was one moment where Kelly and Jerry had to go away, and we got to keep Lily for 2 days. And I want to share this with you, because this is the way that we all ingratiate ourselves into other sentients' lives, right? We do little weird things that make us memorable and quirky and loving and fun, or lovable and fun. And here, one of the instructions, and it's a totally true instruction that I got from Kelly and Jerry to watch Lily the 2 nights I watched her, was you may have to, here's how she has food. You put her food in her bowl, you put her bowl on her mat, and then if she's not eating it, you may have to take some of the food out of the bowl and sprinkle it on the floor. And if she's still not eating it, you might need to take off your shoe and like stomp your toes a little bit on it so she knows it's for her and it's not just stray food. And I had to do all of that the first time. And then Lily knew that she was at home and she would be okay. She wasn't at home, but she would be okay with us. And, my dog has a lot of quirks. And it was a lovely moment as a new dog owner back when we watched Lily, that every dog sometimes, every human sometimes has quirks, but they're lovable for the things they do well. So Lily went over the Rainbow Bridge last Thursday, and I know with all my heart that every junkie who ever met her loved her, and her humans took such good care of her the entire time. And I will tell you, or do you want to tell the baby goat story?
Well, yeah, let's tell the baby goat story. So this is the best. So Lily was the only dog at Siglerfest, except for a brief cameo by Reese and Squeaks and Stella, who you guys have seen a million times. And you know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. At Siglerfest, sometimes things got a little fucking bonkers, right? I mean, Vegas is known for its parties and its partiers and everything else. But when you're at a convention, at a, you know, the trade hall show or whatever, you know, the rooms at a casino, things don't usually get as loud as they got. The Church of Siglerism specializes in decibels. What we do better than fucking anyone in the business, our volume per capita is exceeded only by Czechoslovakian hockey fans. That's it. That's the only ones who can fucking top us. And so we frequently had hotel staff checking in to say, hey, there's another convention in the room next to you. Can you fucking dial it down a notch? Dial it down a notch. We're not good at dialing down a notch, but they kept coming. And at one point, Lily was off the leash and just losing it. Lily knew when to work and when to play. And when it was work time, she did her job. When it was playtime, she was all over the fucking place, seeing everybody.
Getting pets, getting love,
getting pets,
everything.
Just
was never too far from
crazy,
never too
shaking,
far from her mama.
Shaking from all the love and loving all the love. So
never too far from her
So she
mama.
must have she got out of the room at some point.
No, not out of the room.
No,
Somebody looked through the front doors and
they
saw
looked.
her.
They looked through the window because they did one of these like. What are these motherfuckers doing?
What are these loud mofos doing?
What are these loud motherfuckers
How
doing?
dare you?
And then so they brought back security because they thought that
No,
we
they
had.
went to the front desk and told the manager. The
manager
came.
brought security, and the manager security came over and says, "We understand that you have a baby goat,
a live baby goat at your ballroom.
Baby goat." Number one,
Lily.
let me be honest, I was very sad. I did not have an actual live baby goat because that's fucking baller. I would have jumped up on shit. But so Lily was the live baby goat that had to have security brought, and we had to be like, no, it's this lovely little dog right here. Am I missing any part of that story?
No, although I will say that Lily was such a lovely, good working dog that at one Siglerfest, not that Siglerfest, at that
Jerry's
Siglerfest,
in the chat room says they took her working vest off.
They did, at that Siglerfest, they just wanted to make sure we didn't have livestock in the room. But
listen, I'm gonna need a vehicle, a tent, and 3 cows.
That's what when the hotel manager, whoever was that, came to me, and then they called. So what they did is they got their staff member, show me who is the person in charge, who is A, right? Show me her. And then I walked to the back of the room, and they're like, we were told that there was a live baby goat, and that is not the same as a service animal. And I was like, no, that is the service animal. And she's like, it can't be a goat. It's supposed to be a dog. And I was like, no, it is a dog. She just looks like a little baby goat. So that happened. But another year, actually, Lily, unfortunately, it's a very common thing for people to pretend that their dogs are service animals so that they can take them.
Which is not fucking cool.
It's not cool.
Not fucking
it's
cool.
not cool. And
I would do it every day if I get away with it, but it's fucking not cool.
It's fucking not cool, right? I would take my dog everywhere if I could. And I could wear her in a pouch.
Sorry, coughed on scotch. Kelly's in the chat room. He said the whole live qualifier is what killed him. Because, I mean, I wouldn't put it past to have a dead baby goat at Siglerfest. Yeah. But this one was live.
So Lily, one year, not this year, but a different year at Siglerfest, unfortunately, there was a dog at the elevators in the hotel who wasn't a service dog wearing a vest from Amazon who attacked Lily because he wasn't trained or she wasn't trained. And the McGardles, Jerry and Kelly, who you guys all know already, and they're in the chat room now, literally always just delivered all the goods. They were like, this is my dog. Here is her education. Here is her licensing. Here is what she's doing. And the hotel was wonderful. And we're like, cool, you guys with the faux dog need to and they kicked him out of the hotel that night. But Lily, who had literally been attacked, went the next day back to work and did all her work. like literally showed up, was friendly, fun, loving, caring, lovely canine being. And
you know what Lily was? You know what Lily was in football terminology? Lily was a slot receiver. Slot receiver lines up in the slot. So you've got tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle. You got your core 5 offensive linemen. Sometimes you have a tight end come in. Tight end's a fucking big dude, right? Coming in, fucking doing his job. Then you got your wide receiver. You got those sleek, svelte Scorno out on the wings, you know, and they can be like 2 out, trips left. You can do all these things. But the slot receiver is the one who lines up between the wideouts and the tight end or the tackle. And the slot receiver's primary job, go forward, cut left, cut right, catch passes over the middle. When you catch passes over the middle, you tend to get the shit knocked out of you every 2 out of 10 times. But you're also a smaller, svelter, you know, little fast-moving person. And Lily was fucking fast. Lily was more like a slot receiver. She could take the hit from a fucking fake service animal, bro. Fake service animal, bro. She could do that shit and still come back and fucking perform and catch passes over the middle. Take the damage, fucking get the first down.
And I will say, Kelly mentioned it in the chat room on Facebook, but she did have a jersey that said wide retriever. And she was also a very, very, very well-trained and sensitive to her
It
mama.
was crazy, dude. It was crazy.
Service dog.
It was fucking awesome
so
to
I
watch.
propose this.
Okay.
She's not, what did you call her? A slot receiver?
Slot receiver, yeah. She's a slot receiver. No?
Not anymore.
What?
Now she's the actual goat. She's the greatest of all time.
And speaking of goats, we're going to show this right here, and and fucking Papa Bear's gonna try not to cry, but this is the last one of the day.
You're gonna be all right.
This shit right here. Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
She'll
and when
always
I say come on,
be the
dog,
goat.
just fucking solid fucking work every day.
Yeah.
Cheer, you know what? All you bring your glasses
Cheers
together.
to Lily.
Cheers to Lily. One drink for Lily. One drink for fucking Boz. Boz was a fucking
Absolutely
a motherfucker.
King among men.
Fucking bastard motherfucker, led with joy, happy all the fucking time.
And one more.
4.
Lavinia and the McArdles, who are soldiering on in the after. We love you all. I do want to mention, we in the junkie community did not get to meet and enjoy
Lily's
Peanut.
a goat. Oh, Peanut.
And Peanut belonged to the Haneys, which all of you know and love.
Haneys are dope.
And
dope fam.
And Trevor and Haley and Kim. And on the same day that Lily crossed the Rainbow Bridge, the Haneys decided that Peanut couldn't suffer anymore and had to do the same thing. And while I didn't get a chance to meet Peanut, I know without reservation that the Haneys are beautiful, wonderful junkies and even better humans. And they lost Peanut on the same day, and that's important to the McArdles, and it's important to me, so I thought I'd mention it too, even though we didn't get a chance to meet or interact with Peanut.
Yep. So, cheers to everybody.
You good?
I'm going to be fucking drunk tonight. Ooh. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to capitalize.
We're not good.
I'm going to capitalize on the California legality of marijuana tonight. I'm going to have some edibles. It's going to fucking happen. Probably going to have a couple more of these, which means I probably won't meet my word count tomorrow.
That's okay.
That's
you got
all right.
the whole weekend. This is the first weekend in ages. I mean, literally, I think since mid-February that either we didn't have an obligation or I didn't have COVID because I got COVID in April.
We literally put on the calendar of this weekend. We're not doing
Please
it.
don't put
We're
it
not doing. No, it's on the calendar. We ain't doing a goddamn thing. 7 A's. Goddamn thing. Hanging
like our
out.
friend Maria. Goddamn.
Hanging out. Fucking doing our own thing together. Hanging out with our pups. Probably playing a shit ton of Fortnite. Probably.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Probably ordering in.
Yeah.
Definitely weed. Definitely Queer Eye
yes,
for me.
Steve mentions we're going to be medicated. I don't fucking watch Queer Eye. You know why? Because every time I watch Queer Eye, every time there's some motherfucker dies in Queer Eye every time. In my stories, I wait till like Act 2.5, Act 3. Someone dies beginning of Act 3, so I got you. Queer Eye. Step 1. Here's a couple of guys dancing, having a good time. Here's our credits. Boom. Like, and his wife died 7 years ago, and he hasn't left the apartment since. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing to me? Why the fuck can't you stretch this out? And then they cut to this person.
So here's the thing. My favorite part about this, you guys, while he's being a Queer Eye,
hate that goddamn show,
is You guys have, I'll say, I think everybody, but maybe I'll preface this for Americans.
Oh, shit,
There were
Michael.
for ages and ages and ages and ages. There was a show, I don't even know if it's still on, but there was a show called Intervention. And Intervention was a very powerful show that helped a lot of people try and see if they wanted to get clean. I'm not bashing the idea of intervention, even though it could be a little exploitative for entertainment. I think they did some real good. In the same way I think Queer Eye does some real good. They are definitely entertaining, but they, I think, are hopefully changing lives. However, I cannot watch Intervention. I come from a family of addiction and addiction recovery. My brother Jude is in the chat room. I love him to death. We grew up with a dad who was not good with alcohol. And it took him a very long time to get sober, which he did. And he was very productive for the last couple decades of his life in the recovery community. But that left my brother and I like not the best childhood. And what I will say is this. I have the same feeling about Intervention, which is a half an hour long show, as Scott has with Queer Eye for the same reason. It's the sadness. And I will tell you, if you're an Intervention fan or you watch an Intervention, you can watch for about 12 and a half minutes. And at
It's
12
so
and a half
hard,
minutes,
dude.
12 and a half minutes right after the commercial break, you get blink, blink, blink. You get a very plinky acoustic guitar telling you that shit went south.
I'm gonna say this and we're gonna sign off. Listen. We're done with the celebration of Boz. Done with celebration of Lily. Respect.
I'm gonna honor Boz as much as I can moving forward.
I'm gonna
He's
honor
such
Boz
a
with
joyful
an
human.
enormous amount of drinking. Is what I'm gonna do.
And I'm gonna honor Lily by treating my pups
Shit,
with
wait.
good
Oh,
treats.
but I'll tell you guys, I'm gonna blog about this shit. And listen, you guys know that I'm a very sensitive millennial. When I'm
You're definitely a
No,
Gen Xer.
I am a sensitive
Gen
millennial who's in touch with all the
Gen Xer.
feels. As you can tell, look at my face.
Gen
I have all
Xers.
the fucking feels. I'm going to blog about this shit. So I come downstairs. A's having a shoulder issue. She's hurting, having problems. So I keep
That's
I
a
keep
big
popping
issue
in.
this week.
I keep popping in like, what's up, girl? Can I get you a blanket? Maybe I can get you some cheese and crackers. What's up, girl?
Can
And
I
I'm
make
like-
you an egg?
I'm like, you know, blocking out, working my game, trying to make sure my girl don't need nothing, right? My partner don't need nothing. She's watching Queer Eye. I've already told you I have a Queer Eye fucking moratorium because I'm tired of fucking watching spouses and loved ones fucking die and watch people recover. Like, she lost her husband. She lost her husband 8 months ago and she hasn't changed her clothes since and she's covered with lace. And then here comes Jonathan. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna comb out all the lice. We're gonna comb them all out. You're gonna be brand new. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't give a shit about the lice. She fucking lost. So this is what I do.
He
So,
can't handle thinking about losing.
I know. No, I can't.
Me, I guess.
I can't handle it. I can't handle it. So I'm texting him like, all right, what, do you need anything? So I'm just watching Queer Eye. And I'm like, and I already told you guys, sign off if you don't hear this shit. The show's over. This is just me now.
Wait, are you spoiling this season?
No.
Okay.
A little bit. So I text her and she's on Watch Queer. I'm like, and I type, fuck Queer Eye. Who died? Who fucking died? She says, and this is now, in retrospect, how I hear A's voice. Are you guys ready?
Oh, no.
Well, no one died. This one's about a football fan. It's great. So I'm like, oh.
I don't think there's
All
even
right.
been a Queer Eye about a football fan.
You know what? I like football. I like football fans. It's great. I go downstairs, sitting there's Ale, curled up in a blanket with her fucking shoulder gimped up, trying to do it. She's doing the best she can. She's working through it.
I'm better
and
now.
And I'm like, okay, who this bitch? And she goes, that is the New Orleans Saints fan of the year last year. And I'm like, oh snap, this is gonna be fucking great. And it's a lesbian couple, and I'm like, okay, Queer Eye can come in, gussy up anybody, get them looking all fucking fine and prime, whatever. So I'm like, this is gonna be fun. And when I come downstairs, this woman doesn't like vegetables and doesn't like green things. So who's the cook?
Anthony is the cook, although
Anthony's
I'm not
cook. So I come
remembering what you're
I come
watching.
into the scene because you were all pained up. I come into the scene and Anthony,
on pain meds.
Anthony's trying to make this girl a salad and like, why don't you just try this cucumber? It's all jazzed, just one bite. And she's all like, I don't like it. He's like, he cuts it down to this sliver, gives her, he's like, try it. She puts it in her mouth, she's like, and you can tell she don't like it. This is all a setup to the punchline. It's all a setup. So then he gets her to eat the salad. Then he gives her cucumber, gives her salad. She's salad. She's like, all right. That isn't exactly as bad as I thought it was going to be. She got a fucking Saints jersey on. She is representing her fucking squad, right? I'm like, I can get behind this person. This is all good. Then, this is what I'm blog about. Then we hear how this lovely human being has had such a difficult time being named the fucking Saints fan of the year because people are upset because it's a lesbian who won it. And I'm truncating this very shortly. But I was like, this is what I will blog about. I'm like, this is a fucking diehard, fucking golden black to the core fan, has been there through all the shit years and is hanging out. And so I didn't get to watch a spouse die, but I got to watch someone fucking just be gutted because they can't be a fucking football fan because of just the person that they are. And it's
important to know.
I'm like,
I'm not
you
sure
know what
we
I'm
finished
like?
the episode.
I'm like, fuck this fucking show. Every time
But
I
will
cry
say this.
every episode.
But that
at
is
Queer
the
Eye.
fucking point. And
I
will
know.
say to Daniel
I
Grubelek,
cry every episode.
I will say that I have a
Puffkin,
lot
I
of
love him
friends
too. He's
in
great.
the community that are super grateful, and I mean super grateful for the new Queer Eye, and not to say that they don't love the old Queer Eye, but not everybody in the old Queer Eye was. I mean, everybody in the old Queer Eye was identifying as male, and I have a goodly number of friends who are very, very grateful, just because in this timeline, this is one of the only loving representations of them in the world, right? Like, this gets put out into the world with them not having to defend how they were born. And then every time they're at an airport and use the bathroom, they have to defend how they were born. So I have a different experience than you. I'm not saying yours is wrong. I'm saying that I have close personal friends who are in the community who are super grateful for any representation that is not calling them devils. So,
yeah, Daniel points out there's definitely some mixed opinions on the show, but for sure, and there are mixed opinions on the show. But I will tell you that the one episode I've watched in recent memory, which focuses on football fandom, which, as you may have guessed, is a thing that I'm extremely passionate about and endorse on the regular. You guys will all fucking find a squad, get behind them, brings the community together. You find great people in your community who are part of that fandom. And fandom can be about fucking Star Wars, Star Trek, can be about the New Orleans Saints, the Detroit Lions. Fandom is a lovely fucking thing. What? Oh, yeah.
It could be about Scott Sigler fiction. So how we'll end this, since we're already...
It's the orange. It's the black. Go Krakens.
Yeah.
Whose house?
We're way late.
We're
will say
late.
this. We are not people who are trying to convince you to do anything but have entertainment that makes you happy. That's what we do for a living. That said, this community we love, we're still here, even though the whole pandemic emergency thing has ended. We're still showing up every Wednesday because we appreciate the community that you guys bring. And I think you guys benefit from the community that we bring. But I want you to remember, it's never one-sided. We're not just giving you something. We are getting back the same community from you by doing this. And we appreciate it because in times like this...
This is fandom, motherfuckers, right here. This is what fucking fandom's fucking all about.
Where we lose this...
Look how happy this motherfucker is. I got my jersey. I got my beer. Fucking my next book's coming out. Fucking fandom. Fandom is a great fucking thing.
Yeah, he was happy, healthy,
Kudos,
beautiful,
Boz.
drinking a... We'll always remember you. We'll always love you. And I am going to try to be more joyful in my interactions with other human beings, specifically in Boz's honor.
Also, fuck him and his hair. Why does he get fucking hair like that? This is bullshit.
And the smile, like the hair, the smile, the attitude, the joy.
Coif. Fucking right over the... fucking just flowing it out. Like, I don't even have to comb it, bitch. It
And
just
also
looks
drinking
good
a
all the time.
Peroni.
You know what? I have a Peroni for him.
You will.
Is that different than a pierogi?
It is. A pierogi.
Can I have a pierogi and a Peroni?
If you want to do that for Boz, I'll do it next week for you. I don't care.
All right, you guys. We
love
went
you
a little
so
bit
much.
long.
We've had a rough fucking week.
A little bit long, but you know what? We're not fucking good with people dying. I'm not going to lie to you.
Listen,
It's not
the
good with
iceberg in the Facebook chat room just said this. Be like Boz.
Yep. Lead with joy.
Boz.
Lead with joy.
Hashtag be like Boz.
Worst thing that can happen, you lead with joy, you find out you're surrounded by a bunch of fucking
And then
miserable
you lead with
assholes, and then you
assholes.
fucking Ghost out, bitch.
You're like,
Fucking,
oh, now
you know,
I'm leading with stabbies.
I love you. I love you. No, you don't leave a stab. You fucking, you ghost out because you don't need to be, you don't need to be in that conflict. Fucking ghost out and then go drink a beer and wear your Krakens jersey and be fucking happy. And if you don't have a Krakens jersey, we are fucking working on it. God damn it. We're fucking working on it. All right, motherfuckers. You're all fucking great. We love you. And we hope we have a fucking special, very special episode about you and anytime in the near future. We really don't, because it's fucked up. All right.
We are going to be back next Wednesday. It is May 24th.
May 24th for Slay Part 21, where Link gets to fight, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a giant reptile, and that giant reptile possibly has an overextended member, which also must be dealt with in this episode. It's possible. Stay smart.
Stay science, especially about an overextended member.
And for all the giant lizard cocks in the world, we want you, for the love of science, to stay